Hello, I just finished making this Moxon, M-O-X-O-N, vise. The design was originally put together by Joseph Moxon in the 17th century, and it's a clever design that you can add a vise to your workbench using a two-screw design. Now these things, if you look online, they range just for the parts, $40 all the way up to $300, $400 for finished vices. I want to show you how I put one together, and you can do it. The hardware as low as around $10, and any kind of wood you want to use in here, and any kind of handle you want to put on, including a homemade one like I did. If you're interested in watching this, I'll kind of give you an understanding of how I put this together. Let's get started. To give you a look at how this works, I can open the jaws, sliding them on a threaded pair of rods, and you can take a board like this one here if you want to do some hand dovetailing. You can put it in here and clamp it down good and tight. And you can see it's rock solid there. I can't budge it. Or I can take, and if I wanted to hand plane or work on the edge, I can set it right there and tighten it in. And you can see again, it's solid on this workbench. Now, let's go ahead and take it apart a little bit and show you how it's put together. I'll start with my handles. I just cut these on the bandsaw out of a large block of wood, and they're basically big wooden wing nuts. On the back side, I drilled a hole for my rod. In this case, it's a 1/2 inch rod, a 1/2 inch hole, and then I took a Forstner bit and I drilled a larger hole that I could drop this nut into. I had to do a little chiseling around the edge to get that shape that the nut would fit into, and then I put a little epoxy in there, and I have a large wing nut. Now I would suggest, I'm stuck at home because I'm on this COVID situation where I have to stay at home in lockdown, so I only had 1/2 inch rod, but you can get 3/4 and even 1 inch, I believe, at Home Depot. The 3/4 inch rod would cost you, for two 12-inch pieces, just about $8.14. And then you add some washers and nuts and you're good to go. So you can see what I have here. This is a piece, I was lucky to have this piece of maple in my garage, and I cut a piece, and this is for my use. This here is 16 3/4 inches long, and I cut that piece out of a piece of 1.5 inch maple. You could use a lot of different kinds of wood, but I had the maple and I thought it would be really sturdy for a long period of time. Now, to make these holes, I took a Forstner bit and I went through, and then after I went through once, I went through just about 1/8 of an inch to the side for a center hole, and went down again, took a chisel and chiseled out the little V left on each side. That slot gives me a little bit of slide action so things won't bind up. Now when I put this back here, I did the same thing here where I drilled a hole all the way through with 1/2 inch, and that's for my threaded rod to fit through. But then I took a larger Forstner bit and I went down on the inside jaw so I could again drop my nut in there. That took a little bit of hand chiseling to go around and give me the shape that my nut could fit into. Here I didn't even glue these in with epoxy because on the back side, as I'll show you in a moment, there's another nut that locks nut to nut together. To remove these, I have these really nice, I love these things, holdfast, and I cut a notch on each side. And so this pulls up, and I flip it around to the back side, and you can see the rear side. I just have a large washer there with a nut on this side and here. And I left this extension here because I knew with my jaws the biggest piece of material I would probably use in there would be 4 inches. So this can be moved so this rod comes out on the front side, and I can put 4 inches inside this jaw. Now if I reassemble it, you can see I just throw this back in here, slide that on, and then slide my 2 washers on, and then put my giant wing nuts on. And the thing I like about this is it's really easy to just put this aside, and when I need it, with these holdfasts on my workbench, I can have this thing locked down in just a couple of seconds. So there we go. And to give you an idea, that lockdown is this easy. I just take this thing here and set it like that. And the other one, I drilled holes in my workbench to line up with the size I wanted to make this, and then just give it a wrap on each side, and it's set into place, and I'm ready to go. So you could put this together. If you have some wood already, you could make this thing for about 10 bucks. Go for it. I think you'd really enjoy it and use it a lot for many, many years. Take care. Have a good day.